listening to The Traveling Eye. I'm Bonnie Deschamps.
And I'm Javon Harley. And today we will fly away to a wonderful destination, discuss the hot spots, the cuisine, and how to plan for your trip.
Sawubona, The Traveling Eye is in South Africa. A great mix of culture, history, wildlife, scenic beauty, and friendly people is why South Africa is one of my favorite destinations. On this trip, we're visiting Johannesburg, Soweto, Entebbe, Cape Town, and the Cape Town Jazz Festival. I like to start my visit to South Africa at Lesedi Cultural Village. It's a journey through South Africa's culture and traditions. Johannesburg is South Africa's largest city by population, and it's making a comeback. I asked Laura Verkel, the PR and communications manager for Johannesburg Tourism Company, what has contributed to this comeback.
There's been a lot of investment from both the public sector and the private sector in Johannesburg, and it's something that's been on the go for the last 10 years. There's been massive projects and developments to just create districts and precincts like the Fashion District to encourage people to all do their business in a particular area, and also just in terms of cleaning up and keeping it crime-free and grime-free. There's been a lot of adoption of that American model of city improvement districts.
When you come to Johannesburg, you have to visit Soweto. Soweto is an acronym that stands for Southwestern Townships. Townships are areas that are designated for Black South Africans during apartheid. Most of what is shown of townships are shanty dwellings, but Soweto is so much more. It's a thriving community that continues to develop with beautiful homes. Vilakazi Street in Soweto is one of the most famous streets in the world because 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners once lived here: South Africa's former President Nelson Mandela and Bishop Desmond Tutu. The Mandela House, where the former president lived with his first wife, Evelyn, and his second wife, Winnie, before he was arrested, is a must-see attraction in Soweto. I'm inside Winnie and Nelson Mandela's home. This was, of course, the home that they shared before he went to prison. And this is actually a photo of Nelson Mandela, the last one that was taken before he went to prison. And then if you look up to the smaller photo here, this was the first picture that was taken of him when he was released from. I'll just give you a peek around. There's different photos, there are different artifacts, paintings, family photos, and then also there's some inscriptions along the wall giving you more information about their life and about the home itself. This was the children's bedroom, and these are just some more of personal effects, artifacts, and gifts. And if you look in this case over here, it's actually a belt. You know, Nelson Mandela was a boxer, so Sugar Ray Leonard gave him one of his prize belts as a souvenir, and it's in this case here. And there's some other personal effects like his army boots and other gifts and personal effects that have been collected along the way. During apartheid, nightclubs and bars or even gatherings were illegal for blacks. And in townships, underground establishments, often in homes, developed called shebeens. Today, shebeens are operated legally, and some are still in private homes turned shebeens. We visited Robbie's Shebeen for some Soweto soul food. Apartheid is part of South Africa's history, and it's certainly the bad and the ugly. After all, not all history is good. Here at the Apartheid Museum, this part of the country's history is told with a no-holds-barred approach. I'm about to enter the Apartheid Museum, which is just behind me. Now, when you come to the Apartheid Museum, you're issued a ticket, and this ticket represents a pass. And these passes were issued during the apartheid era, and the pass indicated whether you were white or non-white, and it also told you what parts of the town you could live in, what parts of the town that you can transport in, and the museum really gives you a great experience that you can see firsthand how this segregation was. And behind me you see there are 2 doors. One door is marked non-white and one door is marked white. And my ticket, which is randomly selected for me, I have indicated non-whites, or in Afrikaans, nie blankes, and that's the door that I'm going to enter.
The museum takes you on a historical journey filled with photos, images, periodicals, broadcasts, and other depictions of apartheid.
I mean, to think about the sheer absurdity of this system, if you see here on this sign that just by the wave of a government pen, one could be reclassified. Your ethnicity could be reclassified. For example, 3 Chinese became white, 50 Indians became colored, and 43 coloreds became Indians, so forth and so on, as indicated here. How absurd is this? As we learned in the Zulu culture, when you're leaving your family for any period of time, you spit on a rock and you throw it into a pile so that you leave a part of yourself. And this is what these rocks represent here at the Apartheid Museum. So you take a rock from a pile here, you spit on it, and you throw it in that pile. Now what's amazing is that when I first started coming to the Apartheid Museum a few years ago, this went down, I can't remember how many feet, but I can't imagine that it's up to my hip at this point. Shows you how many people have come through and how many people have left a part of them behind, which also symbolizes leaving the past behind and moving toward the future. You know, coming to the Apartheid Museum is just as emotional for me today as it was years ago when I came for the very first time. To see the struggles that people went through and the many lives that were lost and the way in which people were treated. And coming to the end of the museum, the pride that I get is just based on this one word that's above.
From the city to the bush, we head to the Limpopo province for some of South Africa's wildlife. And we set our sights on Legends Golf and Safari Resort in Entebbe. Here you can find all of the big 5, and on this visit, we see 3: elephant, lion, and rhinoceros. The buffalo and the leopard eluded us, but we managed to see 2 cheetah brothers and a host of other unique African animals. After our game drive, we dine under the stars, a one-of-a-kind experience in South Africa's bush. Here it's called a bush braai, or, as we say, barbecue.
Fixing my plate at the Boma. Having dinner outside under the stars. What a wonderful way to be serenaded, and by who else but the chef. Beautiful lady, beautiful voice, and wonderful food. We're having a great night here at our Boma under the stars.
Leaving the bush behind, we head to Cape Town, South Africa's most scenic city. The landscape is second to none, and one of its main structures has recently been named one of the natural wonders of the world.
Hey, we're about to go up to the top of Table Mountain, and this car that you see coming is a revolving glass cable car that's going to take us up, and we're all about to board. I'll see you on the top.
As we did, take a full tour of Cape Town's natural beauty, starting with Table Mountain.
All right, we're racing against the clock because unfortunately you can't control the weather up here at Table Mountain, and they're about to close the mountain because of the weather. It's getting a little windy, it's getting a lot cold. However, the reason to come up here is for the fantastic view that's down below. We're 1,067 meters above sea level, and so this is definitely the place that you want to come to get a fantastic view of Cape Town.
Continuing to Cape Point and Cape of Good Hope, you get picturesque views and encounter a bit of wildlife.
Now I'm here at Cape Point, and I'm up here at the historic lighthouse, and we're at the southernmost tip of South Africa, and later on we're going to continue with our scenic journey along the coast and then from the Atlantic Ocean up the Indian Ocean side. Just climbed to the top of the historic tower. It's a great thing to do when you come here to Cape Point, is to walk all the way up and bypass the trolley car that comes up if you want to get a little bit of exercise and a whole lot of view. You can do it either way, whichever you'd like, but if you like to get the best view, you have to walk it up. Here we are at the Cape of Good Hope, which is the most southwestern point of Africa. And once you go up top and you see Cape Point, the most southern part of Africa, of course, the thing that everybody wants to do is take a picture in front of the sign that says, "I was here." Just when you think you've seen it all, you then see penguins in South Africa. How special is that? The South African penguins, they're smaller than their Arctic cousins. And years ago they came to Simonstown and made it their home. And now there's a boardwalk that's built so that we can all get a chance to see the penguins in their natural habitat.
Now, you know I could not leave out the food. While touring the coast, we stopped for some of Cape Town's wonderful seafood. Shrimp, seafood platters, fish, we had a sampling of it all. The finale, the Cape Town Jazz Festival.
The 13th annual Cape Town Jazz Festival, an event that has grown each and every year from artists around the world, fantastic international jazz artists, whether they're new and upcoming or if they're some of your old favorites.
This year, Dave Koz performed and opened with the South African National Anthem. James Ingram set the crowd on fire. A young and up-and-coming artist, Alfredo Rodriguez from Cuba, gave a performance that's well beyond his years. And South Africa's own Hugh Masekela ignited the audience.
Was there anybody in particular that you came to the Cape Town Jazz Festival for?
It was Lauryn Hill for one. We love Dave Koz.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing James Ingram perform.
I'm looking forward to seeing Hugh Masekela.
James Ingram.
Unati.
Unati. Now, I'm not familiar with Unati. Is that a local artist?
She is local.
She is local. I'm here with Kat, who is the band leader and the lead guitarist for Third World. We all know them back in the day. How are you today?
I'm very good.
Great, great. Well, you know what? I was so excited when I saw Third World on the program. Is this your first time to South Africa?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. And so, therefore, it's your first time to the Cape Town Jazz Festival.
First time to the Cape Town Jazz Festival. It's not actually my first time, or Third World's first time to Southern Africa. Because we've been to Zimbabwe and we've been to Botswana. But we've never actually done the festival here or anything in South Africa. So we're very excited.
Well, I'm excited for you. What do you think people are looking for when they saw Third World on the lineup for the Cape Town Jazz Festival?
Well, I mean, I think that people have known our music since the 80s quite a bit here. And we've never had the opportunity of coming. You know, we were invited here to come before apartheid was over, and we turned it down. We were actually given an award from the United Nations for that. And it was something long time in the works, and we are very happy that it has now come true, and we are here. And, you know, we're ready. We're ready to give a good show.
Are we going to hear something new from you this festival?
Yes, you'll hear one or two new songs off of our recent album, The Patriots. And of course, you know, as much as people want to hear something new, we can't come here and not play 96 Degrees or Now That We Found Love. I mean, our Tried Your Love, we got to do that.
Yes, the old favorites are just that.
Absolutely.
And they are tried and true, and that's what people come to see. But we always want to know what you're working on as well. Thank you so much. I'm looking so forward to seeing your performance, and I really just can't wait. The combination of Jamaica, artists from around the world, whether it's from the United States, from Cuba, from the islands, or whether it's a local here in South Africa, the Cape Town Jazz Festival, you'll find them all.
Big time.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
The Legacy Hotels and Resorts in South Africa offer a variety of accommodations. The Michelangelo, just outside of Johannesburg, is a 5-star hotel with beautiful architecture. The Legacy Golf and Safari Resort in Entebbe offers a great mix of modern accommodations and wildlife. The Commodore Hotel in Cape Town is perfectly located at the waterfront and stylishly decorated.
Vibrant cities, exotic wildlife, warm and welcoming people, rich culture, and great music. South Africa continues to be one of my favorite destinations.